Sawadee krap. Hello and welcome to A Singaporean in Chiang Mai. We continue on the journey of me sharing my experience in building a house from scratch. It is now into week 13. We will cover some of the work done, but it will mainly be about roofing. Roof over the head is more than just a cover from rain and sun. There are other considerations that is best taken care of during the construction stage. This was where we left off at the end of week 12. The brick walls has gone all the way up. Notice the grey skies in the background. This is early June and the beginning of the wet season, and I am concerned. But the workers are not done yet with the walls around the doors and windows. You can see the orange thread that marks out the boundary. They are going to plaster up all the way to these markers. One side of this window is done, all around, with sharp edges. These edges are now sharp to allow them to plaster up the rest of the wall to these edges. This man is filling up the edges of this door opening. The edges now look neat and straight. But to achieve really sharp edge, a plastic strip is used. This is the plastic strip that they push into the still wet cement, and with the orange string as guide, the strip is adjusted to align to it. Next, fine wire is nailed to the wall between the brick and the pillars. The wall netting provides strength to the cement coat and will eventually plaster up the wall. This will prevent cracks from showing up along these joints down the road. These netting are soft and pliable and are affixed by nailing it to the wall. You can see the two nails. Nothing complicated about it. But the rain has started falling. Each time it comes, it is a heavy shower for about half to an hour. It was enough to wet the entire house. You can see the water puddles on the cement floor. I was worried and asked the contractor when the roofing will be done. Just putting black tarp above is not enough to protect everything inside. I do not want the cement in my whole house to be soaked in water and then remain damp for years to come. He just gave me the excuse that the white tiles that I had chosen do not have stock and the orders will come soon. Meanwhile, they started nailing in the side cover for the roof. The door and the window edges and the netting along the pillars continue. This won't do, so we arranged a coffee session with him. Through indirect replies, we figured that he is not rushing it because he lacks the funds to pay for the materials. Now, Thais do not tell you directly their problem. They beat around the bush and try to skirt around the answer. But through that, we knew we have fallen into the problem that many people face in Thailand. The contractor is getting broke. This happens not just to Farangs, but to local Thais as well. About 4 in 5 private housing projects fall into this problem. Challenging situation calls for creative solution. So we told him, let's go shopping. We will start buying the materials and pay for it upfront. At the end of it, we will subtract it from the installment that we are supposed to pay him. From there forth, I became busy going out with him every few days to shop for materials that is needed to continue building my house. There are many types of roofing. The lower end ones are the big metal sheets. They're easy to install but not as robust nor lasting. Plus they don't look so nice. The heat insulation is also much poorer, even after adding in the layer of PU foam insulator below it. We eliminated these choices and chose the ceramic or clay tiles. These are much like the ones you see in Singapore and Malaysia. But they also have the flat type, which makes the roof smooth and flat. These are twice the price with no improvement to the roofing function, other than that it looks much nicer. By the way, the difference between the traditional corrugated and these flat tiles are a few thousand Sing dollars. I cannot justify for that. The more pressing issue is that none of these clay tiles come in white, not even light grey shade. It's not that they do not make such tiles, they do not keep stock due to low demand. And when we ask how long do we have to wait if we order now, the answer is at least 6 months and maybe longer. In other words, they cannot commit. Seems like the factory won't produce these until they get a large enough order quantity. So we chose the readily available dark grey tiles and arranged for it to be painted white after the tiles are laid. But there's another thing missing. I wanted more heat protection. I wanted a layer of metal sheet below the tiles. That metal sheet will reflect radiant heat by more than 90%. This is critical as my current rental home does not have this metal sheet and that house feels like a hot sauna in the day. I reminded my contractor on this. I'm now like a thinking project manager while my contractor is just taking orders. Yes, it's super tiring. The workers stopped work while we quickly went down to have this bought. And so they eventually lay the metal sheet when they arrived before fixing the roof tiles over it. This is how the metal sheet looked like from the bottom up. The experienced builders will find fault in this, but I'm not picky at this stage. As long as it does not give me big problems down the road, I just accept it. After all, I cannot see the workmanship once everything is covered up. What have I got at this stage? The clay tiles are much better heat reflectors than the metal roofing. On top of that, the roof will be painted white to reflect even more heat away. But the sun in Thailand is really burning hot. The ceramic or clay tiles will still absorb heat and radiate it into the house. So the metal sheet below the tiles will reflect away 90% of that radiated heat. But this is still not enough for me. My 1 year experience in the rental home was really unbearable. We were hiding in the bedroom all the time because that is the room with aircon. Plus, having aircon 24 hours a day would mean me spending on electricity just to keep the house cool. So I had the top of my ceiling carpeted with a layer of PU foam, meaning the air in the ceiling area can be warm, but they should stay up there and not radiate down into the house. As mentioned, this is due to the trauma that I experienced in the rental home. When I climbed up and touched that ceiling board, it was very warm. This third protection of insulating foam keeps my house much cooler than regular ones. However, the Kiasu Singapore syndrome in me was still not satisfied. So I added something called forced air ventilation into my ceiling. Most ceilings will have holes around for hot air to escape from it, and cooler airs are seeped in from the sides. But I'm not satisfied with this, so I installed 2 exhaust fans to forcefully expel the hot air. I also have a temperature sensor to automatically turn this on when the air in the ceiling area gets too warm. 14 weeks has passed. Can my house be ready in just another 1 month? My contractor blatantly says he can, but I do not think so. So much more is yet to be done. Anyway, I had all along given him 6 months in my mind, and now I'm prepared to drag it even longer to 9 months. In the first 12 weeks, we already saw slowdowns and reworks that ate away 3 precious weeks. In these 2 weeks, after active and creative management, the roof was put in. Our plan to return to Singapore had already been pushed back and cannot be delayed any further. And we can tell that when we are away, nothing much will be done. Anyway, I have another week plus left in Thailand, and we managed to get the electrical ducts and wall plastered somewhat. And that will be for the next session. Till then, this is Kyle. See you in the next session. Jagan Sechana. I am glad you watched till the end. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. It will help me tailor my future videos better. Do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. It is called Singaporean in CM. Have a nice day.